Definitely a day to check in on those less fortunate in the community. We are layered up, tracking wind chills very early this morning. Wind chills inland could be in the teens, and we're not likely to get out of the 40s much of the day today, though it will be dry. Even colder for some this time tomorrow morning because we'll have less wind. That may also mean that you see frosty windshields and rooftops developing. Not likely, as likely, at least today. First Alert Weather Team already tracking our next cold front that brings a chance for rain. It's been a very wet period dating back to November. We're about 175% of our rainfall for November, December, and January, according to the chief, Mike Burrish. So we are well ahead of schedule on rain. And even colder air is set to return for the weekend. We're on top of some of the shelters and some of the action you should consider taking with sensitive, tender vegetation and other tropical type plants. Potentially taking some action around the home for this weekend as well. The story updated throughout Jacksonville's morning news. A lot of other storylines we're following for you as the state legislative session continues in Tallahassee. A lot of interesting bills, including term limits that may be put on county officials and others. That continues to move forward. And artificial intelligence legislation that we're tracking for you this morning as well. Out of Nocatee, an interesting story at WOKV.com is the owner of the Ben & Jerry's in the Nocatee Town Center claims that a couple of teenage boys who were disturbing the place on Saturday were shouting racial slurs as they stole stuff there. The owner says that she flies an LGBTQ plus pride flag in the store, and that may have triggered the kids, evidently. More on the story and reaction at WOKV.com. 4 European astronauts are set to blast off from the Kennedy Space Center a little bit later this afternoon in the 5 o'clock hour. The latest mission, SpaceX, set to launch. 95% go for launch. We'll continue to follow that. And a lot of other storylines coming out of the Iowa caucuses and ahead of the New Hampshire primary, which is just next Tuesday. How critical New Hampshire and South Carolina may ultimately be for the future of Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential aspirations. These and other stories covered throughout Jacksonville's morning news. We're live and local until 10 with 2 chances for you to win $1,000. Listen for the payroll payout keyword at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on 104.5 WOKV.